Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraitha. Once again, I'll be your host for today, unpacking the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. And now for the latest on the hit list. Today on the hit list, we start off that is with the NSSU. It's a busy weekend in its thrills and spills. It's game after game, of course, but we can hear from the people that are there in terms of what's happening there.
Kykers, ons is lewendig by die Haggie Geingob Stadion vir die finale van die NSSR Liga. Brian, hoe voel jy? Is jy opgewonde?
Ek is baie opgewonde. Ek is baie excited. Is die finals, my zone NSSU finals onder 11s, onder 12s, onder 13s, onder 19s. Is plattelandspanne. Ek is nie vir die plattelandspanne.
Ek ook 100%. Klein dorpies.
Moria, MNK Gertse, wie's nog daar? Dr. Lemmer. Oh. Ja, dit raak baie interessant. Maar nou is besig met die chokkertjie. Ek wil nie sê chokkertjies nie, maar okay.
Ja, die jonger latte.
Die jonger latte, dis die regte woord. So, dis is op die jonger latte, maar ons het 'n lang dag hierso. Môre is dieselfde, maar ons is baie excited.
Hoe voel jy oor die Silver Plate final? Dis nou vanaand. Ons het 'n Windhoek Gym Chumep Silver Plate final vir onder 19s. How are you feeling? What's your vibes daar?
Kyk, dit is 'n groot fontein. So ek sê bietjie met Chumep van hulle is bietjie naby aan ons, maar as ek realisties moet wees, die Lions groot vaste squad. En die Lions het 'n doel. Hulle het iets om te proef op die vlak vandag. So ek sal sê sal dit 'n wedstryd wees, maar sommige kan sien.
Ek is baie opgewonde. Ek stem saam met jou. Ek moet sê die Lions dink ek gaan terugkom with something to prove. Maar bly ingeskakel, maak seker jy mis geen van die aksie nie, net hier op MyZone se sosiale media platforms OneUp2 en DStv kanaal 285.
Hello guys, we're here joined by
Corner Jarman.
You are a part of the team that just played right now. That is Parkies under 11 against Windhoek Gym. How did you think of the game?
Yeah, it was a good game. Gym has tough players and we have respect, and yeah, our players, we listen to the coaches and use all of the advice we got. And I think Gym is a very tough team.
Yeah, unfortunately you guys didn't make it win the gold medal today, but fortunately I think you guys are looking more toward the bright side and making sure that you excel in the next games.
Yeah, we will focus on our goals and next year we'll maybe get them.
All right.
Finals.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And, yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, I see you guys have a shared trophy. Can you raise it up for? Yeah, you guys won. Basically 27-27 was the end score. You guys had a very good game. So what do you think you guys are going to do next year?
We're gonna work on our structures and catching the ball. We knocked a lot.
All right. Congratulations on your
Thank
win.
you.
Yeah, share this trophy. Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the game?
I feel it's fair. Both teams played very good, and it was good defense and good attacking from both sides.
All right. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
All right. Hello once again, viewers. We are right here still at the Haggie Geingob Stadium, and here we're joined by Coach
Johannes du Plessis.
So, Coach, you guys are basically heading into the final here. So this is the final under 15B. That is Windhoek Gym against VIS. So, how do you feel going into this game?
No, I had a good week's prep, and we're excited. We're excited to see what the boys can bring and what they learn throughout the year. Important thing is to remember they're just boys, and if they can pull off a win, obviously we'll be proud, but we'll be proud nonetheless.
Given your last performance in the last game, based on how you guys played, how do you think, or any changes that you guys are looking forward to or making when it comes to this game that you guys have?
Just focusing on the small stuff. I think especially at schoolboy rugby, the Achilles heel is that the small mistakes we keep on making. So we can execute that. I think it will be a good game of rugby.
All right, congratulations on making it to the final, and all the best in this coming up game.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello guys, we're here joined by the Parkies coach. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm very well, thanks.
All right.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Big day.
You guys are facing a very well-known team
Yes.
when it comes to rugby, Windhoek Gym.
Yes.
I see your younger team is already on the field.
Yes.
What are you guys looking for towards this game?
We're looking forward to the final. It's the first time that we played in a league's final, this team. So very excited for the occasion and well prepared. So yeah, we just hope for the best.
Yes, and does your team look ready?
Yes.
Are you guys having any injuries perhaps, or anything that you need to twist and turn here and there to make sure that you're ready for this game?
No, luckily we were blessed. Everyone is fine. Everyone is injury free. So yeah, just very excited and ready to go.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, for your time and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Stay informed and entertained with the latest coastal news, community stories, and local highlights all in one place. From inspiring people to exciting events, Irongo Talk brings you the moments that matter. Every week, we bring you the latest regional news from impactful community stories to big sport headlines. We also dive into inspiring interviews with local figures and entrepreneurs and keep you in the loop on all the can't miss weekend events. By bridging the gap between print and digital, we inform you every week on what to expect in your Irongo print edition inside the Republikein, the Namibian Sun, and the Algemeine Zeitung. Watch Irongo Talk every Wednesday and Friday on oneup2.com, on NTV, DSTV channel 285 or GoTV channel 25 at 1:30. You can also find us on our social media platforms, that's on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, as well as on TikTok. Irongo Talk, our community, your news.
You want to strike your luck, I tell you, follow this guy. He has been one of the best in terms of betting slips. He gives you the best out of it. He takes risk and sometimes he gets paid, sometimes not. But obviously, Brian Monango will give us the latest bet slips on in the mix.
So, viewers, I'm not with Javon Wilson today. He will not be joining us for this segment. So I will be guiding you guys through the weekend's games, and then maybe you can make yourself some money. I know it's not English Premier League, nor is it the German Bundesliga, nor is it Serie A, but the World Cup qualifiers tend to be very interesting sometimes with these international games, and they can be quite easy to predict. So if we have a look at some of the games that are scheduled to take place on Friday, tonight. These are some games that I look forward to very interestingly. Starting off, we have Slovenia taking on Sweden. All of the games kick off at 8:45. Slovenia taking on Sweden. Switzerland play Kosovo. Greece take on Belarus. Iceland take on Azerbaijan. Moldova play Israel. Israel have been doing really well so far. Montenegro take on Czech Republic, and then Denmark take on Scotland. So those are just some of the games that we will be having for today. Now, to go through my bet slip, I'm very confident in this one. I might make a few changes to this bet slip, but it will be coming up on the screen shortly, and then we can maybe break it down together and you guys can tell me what you think in the comments, and then maybe you can make yourself some money. So I'm going big. It's either you go big or you go home. So I'm starting off the bet slip with 300 Namibian dollars for 7.55 odds. The win comes in at 2,267 Namibian dollars. So you see the code at the bottom, copy the code. 03272787. Copy that code, and then hopefully you can make yourself some cash. You can play around with the games. One of the games that stand out for me has to be the Zimbabwe against Benin. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock, and the odds for Zimbabwe to win this game comes in at 4.2. Now, as a man of numbers, as a man who likes to compare numbers, I think the bookies have got this one wrong, because Zimbabwe have a couple of Premier League players, they have a couple of players that play in Europe, and Benin is not really up there. So 420 is a bargain. If I had $1,000, I would definitely put down that $1,000 on Zimbabwe solely and trust them to win. I mean, have Munetsi, who plays for Wolves, so hopefully we can make some money there. But to go through the rest of the games, South Africa takes on Lesotho, so I'm expecting South Africa to come out victorious in that match. South Africa's international team is really not that great. The football team is not as great as the rugby team, but I expect them to push through and beat Lesotho. Egypt take on Ethiopia. Nothing to be stressed about there, because I'm sure Egypt will come out on top with the likes of Omar Mamouche and Mohamed Salah. Ivory Coast there on also, I'm rooting for them to win that game against Burundi. Ivory Coast won the AFCON, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trusting them to come out on top there. And then one of the games that you can play around with has to be Morocco versus Niger. That one is also going to be very interesting. We have the likes of Achraf Hakimi, who plays for Morocco. So that game is going to be very interesting. But that's my bet slip for the weekend, viewers. Copy the games, put yours together. If you don't like it, you can mix and match, and hopefully we make ourselves some money for the weekend. Looking forward to seeing how the games go. We are still rooting for Namibia to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. This would be the first time that Namibia does qualify. That's if they do qualify, but things are not looking too bad at the moment. Yes, and those are your betting tips for the weekend. But for now, let's get back to the food. Hallo daar kijkers, mijn naam is Brian Munango, aanbieder vir Gooi Kolle.
My naam is Patricia Kutse en ek is julle braai aanbieder.
Hallo julle, ek is Andrew Poelman, mede-aanbieder van Gooi Kolle. Ons sou wou ons ja, 'n bietjie van 'n braai tema inwerk saam met sportvooruitsigte van die naweek, so 'n bietjie sportpersoonlikhede bekendstel. So ons sien uit na ons derde seisoen.
En dan ook lekker kos op die kolle. Julle kan ons elke Vrydag om 12:30 op DStv kanaal 285 en GoTV kanaal 25 en ook op ons webwerf OneUp2.
You see, and Brian Munango and Patricia are Gooi Kolle there. Of course, it's an important program of our program, and that from now we'll speak to, that is Olsen Kahiriri, who is very vocal about professionalizing of the game. And then after that, obviously, it will be Vera Lusa, and then Ari Okhat will give us the latest international news. From me, Jessica Kauretha, it is goodbye.
Mr. Kahiriri, welcome to the Sport Rep Show. Well, there has been talks that several clubs are willing to break away from the leadership of the NFA as the Premier League and have an independent league. What have you made of these calls, and do you think that it is justified?
Yes, thanks, Jesse, for visiting me at my office. No, it's professionalization of football is what one should support, because from my personal experience, the 2 weeks that I have now been engaging with my clients, which are the players, it looks like the way even their contractual obligations are structured and are very pathetic. There's no common standard as to contractual stability. Some are registered as amateur, some are registered as professionals, and there's no standard way of how these contracts ought to be set up and all these things. And that would see us at what I'm seeing from the ground now. There will be a lot of battles when the league is about to start, on the basis of registrations of players, on the basis of what I've uncovered now when I'm assisting my clients in terms of them moving from clubs to clubs. And that boils up to professionalization of the game itself. Professionalization of football is long overdue. I don't know why we dismantled the Namibian Premier League, and now we are starting from scratch. And every time you start from scratch, you will now have to start with the drafting of the rules and all these things in order for you to move professional. Now we are in the third, if I'm not mistaken, third season with the league being played under the NFA. And the NFA not indicating as letting this league go to become an entity on itself, because NFA's duty is to regulate football. They regulate football. They cannot run football. They must be able to regulate the game. Now, I support the clubs that says we need to run professional, because the rightful heirs of the league itself ought to be the clubs in that league at that current stage. Now, if it's run by the NFA, which is not part of the clubs, it becomes awkward, because globally the league is run and owned by the clubs themselves that are in that league at that season. So the call to professionalize is long overdue, and I don't know how far the government is, because government made money available, which I believe is 50 million, to help the leagues to become professional. Now, I don't know when that would take center stage, because this is the time that these finances can be loomed into those discussions. Because you see, all the clubs are about to start the league in August. There's no indications as to when the Namibian Premier League is going to start. Are we going to start in December again, or November, or January? Because you remember the last time there was a delay, announcement of the sponsor, everything is in place or not. But these very same things are repeating themselves, because up until today, because when we speak about August starts from Friday. And we have not heard as to when the league is going to start. How does the clubs prepare and all these things? All these things are requirements of the league itself becoming professional. Because by now, the league, the teams that are in the Premier League's chairmen by now should have discussed the modalities of the league for season 2025-2026. But we don't see that, because us now will be compelled to start the league a little bit late and have double locks. I'm very shocked as to how our football is. Imagine our football times is been kicked. Football is kicked for 4 to 5 months. In a whole 7 months, there's no football. In a calendar year. Now, if you want to have proper players, they are only active 5 or 6 months, and half of the 6 months they are not active. And 98% of these contracts are absent when there's no football. So I don't know what those who are in charge of football wants to do, but I would definitely 100% support the game itself to become professional. On that basis, then we will be stakeholders into this professional setup, and what we do is according to books. But now, today you engage, only some clubs behave in a professional manner, but the majority of them, they are still operating at the boots of the cars. They don't have offices, and this is a big concern. When the Premier League was here, the MPL, clubs were compelled to have offices. Nowadays, if you want to write a letter to a club, the other day I was struggling to write a letter to the club. I don't have their addresses. I don't know where I should get them, because there's an engagement that I must do with them. So this is how a quasi-administration is. So we ought to move to a professional setup.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got into cycling when I was a small girl. I started at the age of 8. The reason why I started was probably because my bigger brother was doing it, and what he could do I was definitely able to do. So I got into it like that, and then always did mountain biking, road cycling, did a little bit of everything, and I always enjoyed it. It was outside, it was with friends, you can talk to the people, we had a good group going. So that was quite nice, and then over the time I just got a little bit more professional and going into it with a more serious mindset. And what it has taught me over the last years or last decades, I guess, I think it defined me as a person. So many things you learn through it, teamwork, how committed you are, you have to work hard, like work ethics, dealing with people, with other people, sponsors. So I'm so grateful to have had that experience and grown up in sport. It also kept me away from a lot of stuff that you shouldn't be doing as a youngster maybe. So yeah, I think definitely such a good thing to do, probably sport in general, but just cycling is such a nice sport to do. So yeah, I'm so glad I somehow floated into that. I was privileged enough to compete at 3 Olympic Games. My first ones were in Rio, in Brazil, which was really a nice experience. I was still quite young and unexperienced, and going there, coming from Africa, was a massive thing. So much pressure that I just put on myself, competing on this massive world stage. But then going to Tokyo from that 5 years later, it was supposed to be 4 years, but thanks to COVID it was 5 years. And I was on the breakaway there for so long, and so many people were watching the race and like, oh, you did so well, and we could see you on TV, and just showing, also coming from a small nation, I'm from Namibia originally, that people see that we are there, we're putting your country onto the map. That was just great. And then my last Olympics were in Paris, and you race that race and there's 1 million spectators and they all scream, and you go up these tiny paths and you're actually getting goosebumps because you're like, wow, this is really happening. I'm here. I'm like with the best people. All these people are screaming at you. That was incredible. Those were probably 3 highlights of my career. And then winning the Absa Cape Epic in 2023 in the colours of Efficient Infinity was amazing. It's also
Good day, we're on time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. US Open that continues, and it is the women's final that will be on Saturday, and the finalists have been confirmed. It was very competitive semi-finals. It is firstly Amanda Anisimova. She's from the USA. She beat Naomi Osaka of Japan in 3 sets, 6-7, 7-6 and 6-3. She will play in the final again, and it's well documented. She also played in the Wimbledon final where she lost 6-love against Iga Swiatek. So now she's got another chance in a final in a major. She plays in the final against Aryna Sabalenka, the defending champion and number 1 seed. It is Sabalenka that beat Jessica Pegula, also in a tight 3-set, 4-6, 6-3 and 6-4 to advance to Saturday's final. In the men's side of the draw, there's 2 big semi-finals to be played on Friday. It is Carlos Alcaraz, number 2 seed. He will play against the veteran Novak Djokovic. He's 38 years old, still very competitive. He's won that tournament 4 times. And then also Jannik Sinner, the number 1 seed. He will play against Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime. And those are the 2 semi-finals. The final of the men will be on Sunday. Continuing international sports news with cricket news, a great result by the Proteas men cricket team. They won the ODI, the 50-over series against England. They played the second game at Lords. South Africa won that game by 5 runs. They also won the first game. So it's 2-0 in the series of 3. And South Africa batted first in that game at Lords, made 330 for the loss of 8, with Matthew Britsky, the best contribution, 85 runs from just 77 deliveries. Jofra Archer took 4 for 62 for England. Then England, it was close in the end. They lost by 5 runs. England made 325 for the loss of 9. Both Joe Root and Josh Butler made 61 runs. So the third and final game in the series will be played on Sunday. That's in Southampton. Closing off today's international sports news, it is golf news. It is the Irish Open that started day 1 at the K Club. It's in Kildare in Ireland. And the leader after the first round is Nacho Elvira. And he came in with a score of -6. He is from Spain. Also Thorben Olsen of Denmark, also -6 in the first round. And then 2 of the Irish players that's playing in the tournament, they also will play in the Ryder Cup, is Shane Lowry and Rory McIlroy. Shane Lowry, a good first round of 3 under par, and it is Rory McIlroy on 1 under par. A few South Africans playing in the tournament, and a good start for Xander Lombard. He came in with a -5 in his first round, and then Casey Jarvis also 4 under par in his first round. So that is the Irish Open at the K Club in Kildare. Dowry. So that's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We'll talk international sport again on Monday. Goodbye.